Today feels different. For months, we've been building, planning, and figuring things out as we go, but right now, our tiny house here in eastern Zimbabwe is starting to cross a real threshold.
Which is going to be a huge moment of truly being able to see how it looks and feels out there.
Concrete is going down, power is finally being wired in, and for the first time, this place is beginning to feel permanent. We've learned that life off-grid isn't just about dreaming big, it's about making hundreds of small, sometimes messy decisions that slowly turn an idea into a home.
We should have a party.
And today, a lot of those pieces start falling into place. From laying the veranda slab to designing a roof that will protect this tiny house for years to come, and even burying something beneath the floor that means more to us than you might expect.
Hopefully, it's looking good.
It's good, eh?
Painted red.
This episode is one of those moments where everything starts moving forward at once. So if you're new around here, a very warm welcome, folks. And if you've been walking this journey with us from the beginning, today's one of those days that reminds us exactly why we started.
How exciting is that, everybody?
Good morning, you lovely bunch. Just seen John running off in the direction of our wood store. I think he's getting a piece of wood. He had a saw in his hand, so I can only assume that that's what he's up to. But it's going to be a pretty pivotal point today for our little tiny house build. Obi's digging a hole. Because I think today is the day that we are going to lay the concrete on our little veranda and our deck area, which is going to be a huge moment of truly being able to see how it looks and feels out there. And for the first time, walk on a solid piece of ground that's not a very slopey granite rock or a pile of rubble.
Check this piece of wood out. Big piece of wood, 6 meters long.
Coffee has got his son Pride with him today.
Yeah, because it's a big day. There's a lot to do and it's a lot of heavy lifting. And, you know, Coffee and I are both knackered because Coffee's getting old and I just work really hard. So...
Oh dear.
I'm going to leave it. So, it's taken us literally 16 weeks to fill this up with hardcore and rubble from around the farm, but the farm is looking a lot cleaner now. This has all come from different parts of the farm, believe it or not. And finally we're there. We've got to do the same inside the building as well. Thanks, Clyde. We started doing that bit by bit in there. I don't know where John and his team are today, but they'll be around a bit later. So, oh, blimey, check that out, Coffee. It's on the money. It's exactly the same height. Gosh. Well, I think we just start mixing concrete then. Let's do it.
I have a request, please.
What's that?
Could we build some steps now?
No, well, let's do
Please?
this first. Let's do this first.
Honestly, the amount of times I've had to scale this ridiculous slope to get the shot.
Soon. Next episode. Probably.
Okay. I love it though, because we've kind of started the day at tea time.
At tea time. What do you mean? I've been going all morning.
I know, but I've been at the computer. Now it's tea time.
Yeah,
So
so
let's have a cup of tea.
have a cup of tea and come back to it straight away. Yeah. I'm actually pretty nervous about this because I want to get it right. I want to have a slight slope downwards away from the building. The plan, I think, probably will be either to put a terracotta tile across here or wooden planks on top of it. I know that we could use a composites, but they're pretty difficult to come by and they're expensive. And the wood around these parts is pretty cheap. So we could put a wooden deck over the concrete platform and just swap it out when it rots in 10 years time, 12 years time, however long it might be. I really want that texture between the stone and the wood. So we'll see whether we can put some wooden bits in every now and then, because of course we're going to have a thatch roof. So it'd be really nice to have all of these very natural, organic materials. Terracotta tiles, of course, are definitely on the list of really natural, organic type of things, aren't they? So it might work out quite nicely like that. I'm going to get rid of a few of these bits and pieces along here now, just while Coffee's gone on his tea break, and just flatten it out, work with it a little bit before we start chucking concrete in it. The other day we did a an episode talking about some of the things that are really difficult in Zimbabwe, like electricity and other bits and pieces. If you've missed it, we'll link it to the end of this episode. It's a really good one. Anyway, there's more. When the electricity works and you plug something in, you've got to plug it in at a certain angle, otherwise it doesn't charge.
That's a problem with your plugs, my love.
Where did I buy the plugs? It's like, who knows what I'm talking about? You know, you've got one of those European plugs and then you've got those multi-adapters, because in Zimbabwe you've got 3 different kind of plugs, believe it or not. It's not one standardized plug. You've got the old English plug, 3-pin squares, and then because of the problems that happened back in the way, they started buying South African plug system. By the way, the South African plugs are the largest plugs in the world. And then on top of that, because there are imports coming in from all over the place, you've got the European plug. So instead of putting a normal plug on the wall, very often what happens is you have these plugs that take every single plug in the world. Anyway, if you don't plug it in at a certain angle, you ain't charging. That's all I'm saying. You can be there, you can go back an hour later expecting a full battery. Not happening. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean. If you don't know what I mean, just feel sorry for me.
Guys, can you believe that we're nearing the end of February? I just cannot wrap my head around it. It's madness. And I really feel like every year in the new year is like that time of new year, new me, new habits. And then by this point, kind of middle to end of February, you're like, what happened? And I'm the worst for it. And that can make me feel really down. But one of the things that's really helped me this year is talking to a therapist about it, who's helped me understand that it's not that I'm a failure, it's just that I am pre-programmed almost and have a bunch of familiar patterns that you follow, that you continue to follow, that can be really, really tough to break. So realizing that my failure to continue with my New Year's resolutions is not so much about discipline as it is about patterns has been super, super helpful. Especially because I'm a person that when I feel overwhelmed, I tend to just avoid the thing that's overwhelming me. And then I feel guilty for avoiding it, and so I avoid it even more. Therapy is helping me really understand and notice those patterns and not be so hard on myself, and that it is possible to change it with small, daily, consistent habits. And that's where today's sponsor has been a huge game changer to me. So a massive thank you to BetterHelp for being there and for being the paid partner of this episode. Because therapy is one of those habits that I have stuck to this year. And if you are ready to start your own therapy journey and maybe start understanding your own patterns and what's holding you back, BetterHelp is an online platform that matches you with a credentialed therapist. And all you've got to do is fill in a really quick questionnaire. And then based on your preferences and what you're looking for, you're matched with a therapist usually within a couple of days. And if you need to switch out that therapist because it's not quite the right fit, you can do that anytime, no questions asked and no extra cost. Head to the link that's in the description below this video. It's betterhelp.com/newbies, and that will get you 10% off your first month of therapy. This year I'm focusing a lot less on becoming somebody new and just more on understanding who I already am. Do you know what I'm most excited about with this terrace, love?
What's that?
Putting the terracotta pot on it.
Oh, really? It's a beautiful pot.
It is a beautiful pot. You guys would have seen a few episodes ago, we shared a little bit, some snippets from a local market that happens every weekend, I think, in Harare. And it was just such a joy to go. But anyway, we found this gorgeous terracotta pot. And it's going to look lovely on this possibly terracotta terrace. We'll see. We've got a slight change in the weather today as well, love, haven't we?
Yeah.
Not blue skies this morning. It's looking rather cloudy.
I hope it rains.
This is it, you know, like from Christmas until about 3 weeks ago, it just poured with rain constantly. And you start getting a bit fed up with it. But now it hasn't rained for like 2.5 weeks. And we're desperate for rain. Everything starts to look a bit dry and the garden's needing more water.
I think we'll do it over the top of that. Thanks, Coffee. Okay, we've put a little bit of a framework up there. That's going to help us get the height right from the back to the front. There's a slight incline from the back to the front, so when it rains, when water comes off the thatch, all of that water is just going to roll off the terrace, which is good. We don't want it puddling there. But we've got this problem here where the wood has got a big gap between the wall and the wooden frame. So we're going to put concrete up here, but it's going to fall through that gap there. So we're going to need to fix that. Okay. Picked up some cheap squirty foam. Horrible stuff. Ooh. That's definitely going to help.
How are you getting on, love?
Yeah, good. It's been slow and difficult. I bought some of that expanding foam, you know, the squirty foam stuff.
Oh yeah.
It was the cheapest one on the shelf because I was like, it's not going to be forever. It just needs to go. Anyway, it doesn't stick properly. It drops all the time.
Oh dear.
So it's been messy, slightly frustrating, but we've got there now. Coffee's about to start mixing the concrete. I'm about to cut the rebar, and then we start throwing it in place, and we'll see whether we get a terrace by the end of the day.
And how are we feeling about the imminent looking rain?
Delighted. Let it rain, man.
Is it, even with the concrete?
Yeah, it won't matter. Concrete sets no matter what.
Okay, excellent. The garden does really, really need it, doesn't it?
270. 170. 220.
Do you remember that time we had these in Portugal and they were such a mission to move anywhere? What was
Yeah,
that for? It was for the biopool, wasn't it?
yeah,
And the boys were climbing up them like monkeys.
they were. Yeah,
Oh,
this stuff
love,
is.
they were so little.
They grow quickly, hey?
Jeez, like time just feels like it's running away with me.
Oh, we definitely need to get some stairs up here.
Are we having sundowners on the terrace this evening?
Oh,
Maybe not
that'd be
this
good,
evening.
wouldn't it?
Tomorrow evening.
Tomorrow evening, probably. Well done. Whoops. Let's start throwing some concrete. I think now's the time, huh? The first load just gone in. Off we go, off to the races. All right, lunchtime coming along nicely, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm so excited.
Great morning's work. John should be here this afternoon to carry on. Probably he's going to look at this doorway. And Martin.
I think I just heard a...
Coffee, is that Martin?
Or John. Someone was hooting at the
I
gate.
think we've got to go and open the gate.
Coffee's got a buzzer.
Has he?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Now you see what you are going to do. Just breaking them.
Okay.
They are not
great. Look at this. Wow. So we just built a wall up both sides.
I'm going to explain why you're doing that, because I missed all that with John.
Just so that the concrete doesn't go into too many of the smaller holes. It's basically a bit cheaper. Can you drive the car down?
Sure thing, I'm on my way. When we were buying this car, we were looking at loads of different options and trying to decide what to do. And what we were initially looking for was just a small family car. And I said to John, actually, do you know what we really need that we wish we'd got when we first got to Portugal? Was a bucky, as we call them here, or a twin cab, you know, something with a back that you can put stuff in for working. So this is our compromise family car, and it's an absolute beast. And I'm so glad that we found it and that this is what we've gone for, because on days like today, I'd have been a bit sad if John was chucking bags of gravel and cement into our family car. There's the guys just here by the gate, filling bags with gravel. So we'll reverse up and save them the journey.
Each one of these sacks used to have 50 kilos of cement in it. I'd imagine that's not far off 50 kilos worth of gravel in there. Heavy. You come and try and lift one.
Coffee, don't laugh at me.
That was a small one. Oh my goodness! Wow! What do you think, Coffee? Very strong. Well done. She stalled it.
You know, one of my favourite things about Zim
What's that?
is that sometimes they don't have change in the shops, and so instead of change you get sweet.
That's true, that's true.
And you stash them in here, and so often there's treats in the car.
There's always treats, yeah.
Want some?
Yeah, I do, yeah. So yeah, you go into the shop, you hand over your dollar, because it's US dollars we use here mostly, and if it doesn't add up to a round number, instead of giving you change, because there are no cent coins or quarters or
collection of change in here. You either get a coupon or poison.
Lollipops.
Anyway, after lifting 150 kilos of gravel, it's quite nice to have a bit of poison.
That was a lot, darling. Well done you. Okay, let's go and get that terrace finished. Then let's go and pick up the safe.
Okay, cool.
Coffee, there's a piece of chocolate poison on the back of the cab in that wrapper. There were only 3 small pieces left because Tara ate most of them. But I shared with you and applied.
Poisonous chocolate.
Yeah.
Change, you're eating the change. Good, huh?
Okay. That's good, is it? Thanks, John. Okay, coffee, it's enough.
So what do you guys reckon? End of next week, we're done?
It depends when the Thatcher comes. I think putting stuff like this around the build is going to make life a lot easier for the Thatcher, isn't it?
100%, yeah. It really is a mega hive of activity here this afternoon. The guys have arrived, obviously, and are getting going on just flattening out the floor inside the building so that that is an easy thing to lay concrete onto. These guys are mixing more concrete over there to put on top of the gravel which has now been laid, and we've had our electrician friend Martin arrive, and he's starting to look at laying all of the conduits, the pipes and the plug points for the electricity. Obviously we need to think really carefully about what we're going to need with electrics here before we do any of the plastering and laying of the floor. So what he's going to be setting is a lot of plug sockets, I think at least 4 plug sockets, as well as 2 security lights, one on either side of the building that will also need to be powered. And this entire little place is going to hopefully be completely off-grid. So we need to think about how we are connecting it to our off-grid system at the house so that it is supported by both the mains electricity and our off-grid power source, so that we're never without power in here, because this is going to be quite literally the powerhouse of all things Newby. I've seen a few comments, Love, of people saying this is one of their favourite projects that you've ever done.
Really? That's great to hear. It's really easy to underestimate how much we learn. Everyone does it just by watching stuff, you know, and trying and doing. Like a lot of people on YouTube trying to have these kind of lives. Tara and I have never been to any colleges or trained for anything like this, but we're just here having a go, getting stuck in and hoping for the best at the end result. And all of the learning, I suppose it is kind of like being at school though, isn't it? You watch the experts, and we're really fortunate because for the last few years we've been surrounded by nothing but experts doing stuff really, really well. Differently in different countries, you know. I know in America it's quite popular to build out of wood, same like in Scandinavia. I know in England, if you see a wooden house, you think that's not going to last very long. Everybody likes brick houses there. That's not necessarily true though. Some houses in Finland, they've lasted thousands of years made out of wood. So yeah, I guess it just depends on how you build them, isn't it? But we're very lucky because we've been building a lot of stuff out of stone and concrete, you know, and the ambition of course is that the structures that we're putting together will last the rest of my life, and hopefully my boys too. Wouldn't that be good? The one really big difference I've noticed between the teams that we're working with in Portugal and the teams we work with here, if you listen to these guys behind us, they're constantly giggling. You know, it's like working with a bunch of schoolboys almost. I mean, they're young fellas, but they are giggling a lot, and it does bring a really nice atmosphere and mood to the build site, you know.
Yeah. The guys in Portugal were always super kind.
Very earnest,
Yeah.
very focused.
Yeah.
You know, Daniel, a very focused fella,
Yeah.
getting on with his job. Although I have heard Adam and Marcus, when they're working together, especially later on in the afternoon, having a bit of a giggle together. So it isn't always like that, but it's just one of those things that you observe and you see, isn't it? You know.
Yeah.
And it's so lovely to see, because one of the other things I remember after my first trip through Africa, 1999, beautiful trip, eye-opening, basically came home and said to my mum, that's what I want to do for the rest of my life. It was my first ever trip. I never ever want a real job. I only ever want to travel for the rest of my life. And I remember my mum raising her eyebrows at me and telling me to go and get a job, which I did. I went and got a job at a local supermarket, worked for 2.5 months, and then saved all my pennies and headed out again as quickly as possible to travel. But I remember coming back from that first African trip, most surprised by the amount of happiness on the continent that you don't see when you look at the internet, or you look at the news, or you look at documentaries, because all of the things that come out of Africa very often are sad, you know, rhinos being poached, or famines, or disasters, you know. You never see that happiness. I remember coming home and saying to Mum, you know what was the overwhelming thing that hit me on that trip was how happy people are, generally speaking, you know, with so little. One of my experiences was going to the local cinema. This was in Kenya. And the local cinema was basically a widescreen TV the size of a car, because TVs back then were big. And everybody was lined up in rows of just school chairs. They turned the volume right up with these Dolby surround sound big speakers that they got off of somebody's car in the town hall. It was called the theatre, the movie theatre, the cinema. And I sat there and I watched the movie on the TV like we would do in our front rooms. But everybody was delighted with that. It just makes you really appreciate simple things and how wonderful they can be, you know. Anyway, I ramble on when I should be mixing cement.
All right, my love. The box is ready for your secret, not so secret safe.
It's going to be a great box.
So Coffee and I are going to nip into town quickly and go and pick up the box.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's looking good.
Maybe.
Maybe. We'll soon find out. Where are we going? Right here.
Yes.
Okay. There he is. Thanks, Marek. That looks great. I love the colour.
It's a nice place, yeah?
Yeah, it's very snazzy. Good job. Cool.
Quick note for everyone worried about us showing where safe is in our home. This is a fun project and we'd prefer to keep any money we might have in the bank. And we don't own any diamonds. So if you're studying this as you would a treasure map, imagine that either we will store very poisonous snakes in it, or probably a few hard drives that have more sentimental value to us rather than any real value. In short, it would be quite hard to get to find not very much.
Looking good.
Did John ask for the colour? Coffee?
What is it now?
Let me open the back for you. Right.
Cheers.
Thanks, Mark.
Okay.
We'll see you soon.
Okay.
Right, let's head home. Here you go, Coffee. Job done, hey?
Yes, we are now going back.
That's a good box.
And that is Tara back, by the looks of things, with the safe. How is it?
Yeah, good. Thanks, love more.
What's the gig?
Yeah, we got the box.
Okay, how much was it?
$10.
Is it?
Plus the sheets that you said you could have.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yes. Well done. That's a result.
It's good, eh?
Painted red.
He said that's just the primer. He was going to paint it black, but I quite like the red.
No, that's pretty good, isn't it? Okay, did you test whether you can stand on it?
He kept saying Coffee can stand on it. Come on, Coffee, let's see.
The king was It's too strong.
Coffee is the lightest out of all of us,
Yeah.
though.
There you go, darling. Who's I feel like I could be somebody important, you know, with a hidden away safe. We'll have to find things to put in it now.
That you've told the whole world where it is.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter.
Basically renders it completely
He's
useless.
done a pretty good job there, though,
Yeah,
eh?
he has, hey.
It's all right. Good.
It's heavy, apparently.
Is it?
That is pretty heavy, eh?
So this is Coffee's son, everybody. We've probably said this is Pride. Pride comes and helps us out every now and then. There we go. It's got to go in the floor. Okay, so Martin's putting in a lot of sockets for us. One over there, two over here. One over here and one over here. So what we'll do is we'll put a South African plug over here and English plugs here. Yeah. And then we don't have to mess around with silly adapters. And the safe, I think, will go in the middle of the floor here somewhere.
So we're just trying to figure out what kind of thatch roof we are going to go with. Thatch grass at this time of year actually is quite hard to come by after the rains. So we're going to have to maybe go a little bit further afield than our immediate local area. But yeah, we'll see. I'm sure it will work out just fine.
I'm looking at it, I'm like, Google chocolate box, English chocolate box house.
I think it's cute, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
And then look, there's like our main house. Stone and thatch.
Yeah, when we
When we
get around to
eventually
it.
do the house, hey?
Yeah.
Oh dear, this is a bit of a rabbit hole. I better put the phone away.
That's true. Well, there you have it. It's starting bit by bit to look like an actual tiny house. I'm very, very excited to see what the Thatcher comes up with. Next thing that's going to happen is John and the team are back tomorrow. We're going to be laying the floor, I think, inside the house and then doing a bit of rendering. I'll be doing some woodwork and banisters. I'm pretty excited about doing some actual woodwork. Wood, of course, is my favorite. If you've enjoyed the episode, like, subscribe, turn on notifications. We love having you here with us, and we'll see you next time.